Hello world, welcome back to the Razor RC, and we're doing the full review on a pair of vehicles. These are some new two-wheel drive trucks from Arrma. Just got released maybe like a week or two ago, a few weeks now, and I've been driving them, bashing them, and wanted to give my thoughts. So what we got over here on the left is the Arrma Fury, a two-wheel drive short course truck. They're both 1/10 scale. Over here on the right, we got the Arrma Vorteks, again, two-wheel drive stadium truck. So they've kind of brought back the nameplates of these vehicles. So the Fury is one of the very first Arrma vehicles that ever came out, like over probably 15 years ago at this time. Vorteks, again, was a two-wheel drive stadium truck that Arrma had back in the day, and they re-released them with some upgrades, some little bit of a redesign as well. So we'll take off the body over here on the Fury. Nice little body with some little additional bracing here in the front and the back, and you can also see these posts that made into the shock tower. And then over here on the right, you got the Vorteks, a little bit different. You actually got this tongue that slides into the rear shock tower, and then the posts in the front that mount into the front shock tower. And then the way the bodies kind of clip in, they do have these little body clips that are mounted into the shock towers. They just slide them back and forth and they lock them in, and that way they don't fall out. So pretty interesting design, definitely something different. And then if you look at the trucks, you can see they got that center spine styled chassis. Back in the day, I think they had twin vertical plate aluminum plates on some of the vehicles like the Raider, but these are all composite. These are very low cost as well. The Fury over here on the left is $170 ready to run. If you want the battery and charger, that's additional $30. And then the Vorteks is $150. Again, with the battery and charger, it's $180. So depending on whether you have your own battery and charger or you need something to get started, you can have a couple different options. But they are a little bit different, style of vehicle. As you can see, the Fury is quite a bit longer. It is your standard short course truck in length. Does have the, I think, Fortress tires. Over here on the right, you got the stadium truck with the wider, a little bit taller wheels, a little bit more for handling, a little bit shorter wheelbase, a little bit more steering. Bumpers are quite different as well. Fury's got the massive short course style bumper. The Vorteks has more of the race style, mini bumper here in the front and back. So a little bit different design, but as you can see, they are very similar, just have a little bit different length and width as well as tires. So the trucks themselves, they are brush vehicles. They do come with the Spectrum 40 amp ESC. It's a 2-in-1 combo, so meaning it has the receiver, ESC all combined in one unit, and then a 550 sized 14-tune motor, brush motor. You can see the little two wires that go into the side there. They are upgradable to brushless very easily. You can just buy any 2S brushless piece, maybe even 3S. They are very durable transmissions, pretty durable drive shafts as well. They do have an integrated slipper as well, so you are able to put down that power and not break things. So pretty nice that they're easily upgradable out of the box. Same thing over here with the Vorteks, pretty much same design overall. Bottom mounting battery tray here on the bottom, so a couple thumb presses, and you can open that up, IC3 connector inside. So nice little vehicles overall. We're going to be talking about these, in a few different categories. We'll kind of run through it real quick. The electronics on this thing are pretty good. We already talked about the ESC and motor, as well as the receiver, which will bind right up to the SLT2 radio. 4 double A's, a nice foam wheel, some basic adjustments, steering trim, steering dual rate, as well as servo reversing, and then a power limiter. So out of the box, you can set to 100%, 75 or 50% if you want to try to slow it down. These aren't particularly fast on 2S LiPo. I think they're around the 20-mile-per-hour mark, so not crazy fast, a little bit more of an entry-level vehicle, but for that price, I think the performance is actually pretty solid. The way they actually drive, I would say the Fury is a little bit better on lower traction actually. On dirt, I think the tires hook up a little bit better. It's got a little bit more weight, the body's quite heavy, the chassis is obviously a little bit longer. It just drives a little bit better. It does roll quite a bit in the dirt, but I think that actually helps it actually get around and get some traction. The Vorteks is a little bit more of a, I think, I guess better handling vehicle. Runs better on the track. I actually took it out to a carpet track. One of the best handling two-wheel drive, like RTRs I ever took there. So if you want to race one of these, I'd say the Vorteks actually handles a little bit better. It's going to work a little bit better on the track. These tires, sort of a semi-knobby, semi-rib style up front, and then the traditional Vortex style in the back. I don't find that they have quite as much traction in the dirt as these tires, but they work okay sort of in a variety of situations. So this one is less likely to roll over. This one could roll over on really high traction. Suspension seems a little bit softer on this as well. Vortex to me feels a little bit heavier damping, so a little bit different style of vehicle depending on what type of terrain, what type of area you want to drive. But speed is actually pretty decent. I think the steering on both of these is quite good. For two-wheel drive RTR brush vehicles, I think these certainly are better than things like the Slash. They just steer better. The servo's not particularly fast or anything. I think it's 0.20 seconds for 60 degrees, which is really, really slow. It doesn't seem that slow. If I were to drive this, or I did drive this, and if I had to guess, I would have said it's more in the 0.14 second range. So shockingly, pretty good servos. I don't think you need to change them. They are plastic gear, they are waterproofed, not a ton of torque either. I think they're about the 85 ounce or 5 kilogram range, but they work totally fine. That's probably an area I would not even really think you need to change. ESC and motor, obviously, I think is going to be the area where you're going to get a little bit more bang for the buck. Getting a brushless system, you could probably get one for like 80, 100 bucks, something like that. A 2S LiPo also will work a little bit better. Compartment's not massive, 3S, maybe a soft pack would fit, but any sort of larger battery than that would have a hard time fitting. You'd have to use kind of a mini pack or something like that if you wanted to get, too crazy on the battery section. But I do like the layout. These do drive quite light on their feet. They handle pretty good. They're very low to the ground. They're both low center of gravity style chassis. Even the Fury, it's not a high center of gravity chassis like a Slash. It is low center of gravity, so that makes it handle a little better. It doesn't roll as much. But yeah, very, very good vehicles. In terms of support and maintenance, both of them are backed by Arrma, easy to get parts. They are kind of based off the Gorgon Voltage, which has been around for, I think, over a year now at this point. So plenty of full parts. I don't think there's any issues getting stuff like that. So support and maintenance is certainly going to be one of the better ones for these budget type of vehicles. So final thoughts on these two, including the value, which at $150 or $170, pretty amazing vehicles, I think, for what you get. Natural competitors, these are obviously going to be the Slash two-wheel drive and the Wrestler two-wheel drive. Those have brushless systems nowadays, but they do cost quite a bit more. It's probably around $70 or more on average, compared with those are around 200 or a little bit more. These are well under 200, so I think you get a lot better value here than you do with the Traxxas products. But those do have brushless systems, so that's kind of one advantage. I don't think they're actually any faster than these two, but they are brushless, so a little bit lower maintenance, and the motor's going to last a little bit longer. So two great looking vehicles. I did enjoy driving these on a variety of terrain. I think they make excellent entry vehicles because they are quite durable as well. I haven't broken anything on either of these. The bodies are quite thick. That was my one complaint about the Gorgon. The body was really thin and broke very easily, but these have nice polycarbonate bodies. They are not going to break. Everything on these are really stout. The drive shafts, the turnbuckles, the bumpers, the chassis, everything is very durable on this, and then they hold up to more power if you want. They got a little provisions for a fan, so you could easily throw in a 2S system. No problems at all. Probably even 3S, and it'll just hold up pretty well. Just make sure you set the slippers correctly. I will make a video on that because it is critical on any vehicle, not just for durability and protecting your drivetrain, but also for performance. My Fury is a little bit loose out of the box. My Vortex is a little bit tight out of the box. So a loose slipper will help in low traction surfaces, dirt, loose dirt, that kind of thing. On higher traction surfaces, a little bit tighter slipper will work pretty well, but you definitely want to make sure they have a little bit of slip, and then they will provide more performance and a little bit more durability overall. So anyways, quick look at the Vortex and the Fury from Arrma. I hope you enjoyed this video. We will have links in the description below where you can pick one of these up. It does help support the channel, as well as subscribing. If you subscribe, that also helps support the channel. So anyways, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.